Hi, welcome to Local Flavor. My name is Oystein Solberg and I'm here at the Institute for Culinary Arts. With us here today we got Chef Michael Combs.
Hello.
How are you today?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for coming. It's going to be a blast.
Oh yeah, that'll be great today. We have. We're talking about squab today.
How nice. Okay, so how about these little birds?
Well, these came out of our small animal husbandry program here. So we raise these ourselves here at Metropolitan Community College. And these guys here are about 28 days old. So that's when you harvest about 1 month. And they dress out to about a pound. And so if you like, I can fabricate one of these real quick and you can kind of see how we do that.
It's basically the same as like most birds. Like it's kind of like a chicken, basically, like the bone structure and all that jazz.
It is, yeah, it is. It's just a little smaller. Basically, this is squab, so it's basically the same thing as a pigeon. But these are they get a little bit bigger than pigeons, though.
Yeah.
And they look a little different. But basically, it's a pigeon. But it's not anything you'd see on a parking garage or anything like that.
That would be bad, wouldn't it?
These are special. So. We just harvested these yesterday. It's best that you let these age for about 1 to 3 days before you cook them. And this has been aging for about a day, so this is good to go. Basically, I'm going to start by giving this little guy a pedicure. So we're going to take his nails right off.
Can you just save those for making like a little back scratcher?
We could.
Nice.
You can do that, and then after you're done with your meal, you can use them as a toothpick too, if you like.
Oh, I like it. A multi-purpose meal. That's what we strive for.
So we're going to take these off. We don't really need these because they don't have any other use. There's no flavor or anything to them. And basically what we're going to do is I'm going to cut really close.
You just kind of following that skin between the leg and the thigh and the breast?
Yep. Everything we do here is just kind of following the natural seams of this bird.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything crazy. So as you can see,
So if you've done a chicken, you can do, or even a turkey, like it's just drastically different size.
Exactly, it is. It's just a different size, just smaller. I mean, most poultry's all pretty much the same. Yeah. As far as the structure. So I'm gonna pull this guy back.
It's beautiful.
We're gonna get the leg out. Make sure we get the oyster. So here you go. This is the hind leg. Put that here. And we are going to make a soup out of this guy. So we can use every part of him to cook with, and whatever we're not going to eat, we can always take out later. We can use just for flavor.
Beautiful.
So the feet have a lot of collagen in them, so that's why we're using these feet also. Just make sure you wash them really well.
Yeah. There's a lot of Asian countries, and even like Jamaica and whatnot too. Like they just leave the feet like when cooking rice and just cook it for a long, long time.
Yes.
And like
you can eat them.
It's really delicious. Like the only part you can't really eat is just a little scratchies.
Just the nails.
Yeah.
And so here we have the backbone here.
Beautiful.
And we're gonna use this backbone too. I like to usually cut the backbone up in smaller pieces.
Split it?
Yeah, beautiful. So that way it's you can get more flavor out of this guy.
Yeah.
And so basically this is the breast, and you can see the wings here. We're gonna keep these on. We're just gonna cook them all together.
Yeah.
Right here we have a little bit of they have a keel bone. This guy I can use a boning knife if it's too.
Because these are flyers, so like.
That's right.
So it's going to be a little bit different structure than.
And not only that, it's all dark. It's all dark meat. As you can see, it's all dark meat, just like duck would be also. And it's because these guys actually fly. They move around a lot. That's what gives it that dark.
They just got more myoglobin in the meat. So
exactly.
It's just,
That's exactly what does it.
So they just can store more oxygen, so they can just go flying and go crazy.
Yep. And so you'll see this is basically just cut in half. So we have a four-piece.
That's beautiful.
Piece of squab here, ready for our soup.
Beautiful. So where do we raise these little fellas?
We raise these in our coop here at the ICA.
Yeah.
They're very easy to raise. These are probably one of the most easiest proteins to raise. You can raise these at your house too.
Yeah.
In your backyard, all they do is a little bit of room to fly. All you have to do is clean the coop and feed them. Otherwise, they take care of the young. They have offspring all year round. Yeah. So they're pretty sustainable. All you have to do is harvest them. That's it. And then sometimes they're prone to fleas. Yeah. So you might want to make sure you dust for that. Yeah. But otherwise, they're very simple. There's nothing special you have to do with these birds.
Awesome. So, you just went over there yesterday, you said, didn't you?
I did. Yeah. And here's an experience.
Oh, you guys had fun over there?
Oh, I had a blast.
Sweet. We'll follow Mike over to our animal husbandry area. And just stay tuned. We'll be right back.
See ya. So here we are in the Squab coop here at the Metropolitan Community College Small Husbandry Farm. I'm holding a squab right here. This squab is about 2 months old, close to about 28 days. 28 days is about when we harvest these squab. They are a little different than pigeons, even though they look just like pigeons. They're just a little bit bigger than pigeons, and they grow a little bit bigger than pigeons, and a little faster than pigeons as well. These are made also just specifically for food. That's what they're born and bred for. We have quite a few on hand right now. We have about 14 birds with a couple of chicks. We have about 4 chicks right now, and this is what they look like. They're all white, and these guys are pretty sustainable. They're a very sustainable form of food. They have their own chicks, and they raise their own chicks. They feed their own chicks. Everything. The only thing you have to do is you have to harvest them when they're ready, about every 28 days, and just make sure that you feed the parents regularly. Other than that, they pretty much take care of themselves. And of course, regular cleaning in the coop.
Hi, and then we're back here again at the Institute for Culinary Arts. That is really something they got going on over there. Like, that's a little crazy operation over there.
Yeah, they do a great job. The horticulture does a wonderful job. The rabbits looked happy. The squab looked happy. I wanted to take a rabbit home, but I don't think my wife would be very happy with me if I would have taken one home. But
I bet your kid would be ecstatic.
Oh, he would have loved it.
For about 10 to 12 weeks, and then it would just... And then what's for dinner?
Yeah, where's the rabbit?
Okay, so we got the squab that he just fabricated. Looks wonderful. We got a Dutch oven pot right here, so I'm just gonna get a little oil in there. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna make like a braised squab soup, basically. So it's kind of like a chicken noodle soup, just with squab and orzo. Like orzo is just kind of looks like a little grains of rice, but it's actually like a type of pasta. So it's kind of like a little spin of something everybody knows.
So you're just gonna get a little browning on there for some flavor, pull out some flavor.
Yep. You just want to start like get a little Maillard reaction, and it'll just make everything just taste like $1,000,000. So just a little bit of salt and pepper on these fellas, and then I'm just gonna put them in the hot pot, just skin side down. Just get a good little sear on them.
Yeah, it seems like a simple recipe, but but it's
high
going to be tasty.
I'm not sure if it actually would be high-fiving going into a hot pot, but you never know. So the back as well, just gonna put it in there because there's a lot of good flavor in there, and after you split it, like you really just expose that.
Oh, the bones and all the stuff, the flavor in there.
You get so much good flavor out of it. So I'm just gonna get a good sear on that, and then we're gonna add. So we're gonna add some. I cut up some vegetables. We're gonna add in there a little bit later. I cut some onions, carrots, turnips, parsnips, and then the trim from those. We're just gonna add in with these and braising. So it'll just it'll help just infuse more flavor in there, make it all sorts of delicious.
So can you use other types of vegetables in there too?
Yeah.
Leeks, other type of.
Oh yeah, like it's open for a bit of interpretation. So like whatever season you're making it.
Sure.
You can kind of use
whatever you like, huh?
Yeah. I would try and avoid starchier vegetables because they might.
Oh, sure. Potatoes, and they kind of overcook and.
Yeah.
Sure.
And they'll clod up the stock a little bit, and they just make it feel like a little bit starchy.
Ah, okay.
But like you can add them, you just got to cook them separate and then add them later, basically.
Oh, okay.
But like you can add beans and all sorts of funky stuff.
Sure.
But this is basically just like the trimmings. So like if you were to have it for like a dinner party or whatever, like you want to show off nice and pretty cuts.
Right.
So that creates a little bit of waste, but by adding the trimmings in here and getting all the flavor in, that way nothing goes to waste, and you can either feed it to the squab or
so you'll take those will come out afterwards. Those are just for flavor.
Exactly.
Okay,
so then we just strain the liquid and then add the pretty cuts. That way it looks all nice.
That's
and
a nice
pretty.
trick.
Yeah.
And you get to utilize there's no waste.
Exactly. Because if you add the pretty cuts early, they're just going to overcook and get mushy and get all sorts of funky. So it's a little trick. All right, so I can see how these puppies are doing in here.
Wow, they're browning up very nicely.
Oh yeah.
You can see all that flavor just.
It's gonna be delicious.
Being created on there.
There, and also got some bay leaf. Got a little bit of thyme, a little bit of garlic, and some peppercorns.
Wow, that thyme looks really fresh. Was that out of our garden as well?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Like, they're going crazy over there. Like they're all very, very crazy. In the most wonderful kind of way. right, so I'm just gonna transfer these in here real quick.
Yep, and these are pretty much still raw, so you're able to put them back in the same container because they're not ready to eat yet. So,
and then just gonna add all of this deliciousness. I'm just gonna sweat that for a little bit. I'm gonna keep the garlic out for now because, like, if garlic starts getting too much color, it'll just turn bitter.
Exactly, it does.
All sorts of funky.
Especially if you burn it or anything like that, it doesn't get that bitter.
It just gets horrendous.
And those are just pretty much whole cloves cut in half.
Yep, I split them in half because, like, the garlic cloves will have like a little shoot in them.
Sure, the little green shoot.
Yeah, and that just tastes kind of bitter sometimes.
Right.
So I like peeling that out of there because it can be kind of funky at times. There, I also got some fennel seeds in here.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, that'll give us some great flavor.
Oh yeah, I just love fennel seeds. Like, fennel would be another good one to add in there. Like, you can add just about anything in there.
Wow, it looks wonderful. I think it's going to be great.
It's starting to smell pretty delicious by now.
It does.
So I'm just going to lay the little fellas just right on top there. And the wings, I'm just going to try and, or the hindquarters, I kind of try and keep them on top a little bit.
Sure, because they need less cooking.
Exactly. So then I just got some chicken stock here. Like, if you certainly were killing 100 birds or whatever, you could make squab stock and it would be delicious.
Sure.
But rarely would we be doing that many. So, like,
right.
But by using chicken stock as a base and then infusing it with a squab, it just gets more flavor in by just killing a lot less birds, which is kind of handy.
Awesome.
So I'm just gonna add this shindigs on there. It won't need a lot, just about halfway up the birds or so.
Because basically it's braising, so it's a two-stage method.
Exactly. Yep. It's gonna be delicious.
So, and this goes right in the oven, and
yep.
I guess we'll be back, and we'll get to see what the results are here shortly.
Yep. Just pop a lid on it. I got oven sitting at 300 degrees over here. And then
braising is slow and low, so you don't
slow and low. Yeah. So, like, at this stage, you could really do it a day ahead of time too. And then just kind of put it together real fast the next day.
Good idea.
Yeah. So we're just gonna let those sit for about half-hour time or so.
Okay.
And then we'll check on them and see how they're doing.
Awesome.
So just stay tuned. We got a couple of words from Mary. So actually, we're cooking fairly healthy today.
We are. It is very healthy.
She's gonna be so proud.
Low in fat, high in protein.
Yeah.
Lots of veggies.
I might make a milkshake later or something just to
offset it.
But just stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Chef Oystein almost threw me for a loop, but I was pleasantly surprised to find that it was easy to find nutrition information on squab. Squab is a lean meat. It is similar to chicken breast. It provides about 5 grams of fat per 4-ounce serving and only 1 gram of saturated fat. Squab does provide twice the amount of iron as chicken breast. I really like the variety of vegetables used in this meal. This is a great meal to help meet the recommendation of consuming 3 to 4 cups of vegetables a day as recommended by the Choose My Plate. This meal is so healthy, it could be balanced with a small milkshake at the end of the day.
Hi, and then we're back here again at the Institute for Culinary Arts. Thank you, Mary, for your, as always, insightful advice. And I think we're being fairly nice to her today. Like, normally it's like at least like a pound of butter.
We are going to use a little butter today. We can't not use butter.
Yeah.
But other than that, everything's very healthy.
I get like allergic reactions if there's no butter. So it gets a little crazy. Yeah. So we got one little squabby here. What are you gonna do with it?
We have one last dish. This one's very quick. It's just a roasted whole squab. Very simple. So
perfect.
I guess I'll get started. What I'm gonna do is I'm put a little oil on here, just a little neutral oil, nothing crazy.
Just want to oil with like a high smoke point.
Yep, exactly.
Perfect.
With a high smoke point. And we're just gonna put a little salt and pepper on this guy.
I love salt and pepper.
Just very quickly here. Some salt will season them up really well.
Beautiful.
And I will add just maybe a little oil to the pan because we're gonna brown them up first.
Yeah. So it's just a ripping hot pan.
It is. It's hot.
Beautiful.
So, and it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect at all. When you, it doesn't have to be completely brown on every single.
Because it's going to go in a very hot oven too.
It is.
So that's going to help brown it up quite a bit. Beautiful. So it's, so like with this bird this size, like with a chicken, you can just throw it straight in the oven. It will get nice and crusty and delicious. But like a bird this size, it just won't have the time in there.
Exactly.
So like,
but we would go a higher temperature on this because it's smaller. And squab, you can serve medium rare.
You just treat it like a duck.
That's right. It doesn't have problems with salmonella or anything like that, like chicken do. So that's why you're able to do that. So yeah, very. It doesn't take long at all for these guys. And it's, you know, just like I said, it's a smaller bird. So these things dress out to about a pound or so, depending if you do them right at 28 weeks, which is, you know, the optimum amount of time to when you're supposed to harvest these guys. Yeah. Just to make sure that they still have a little fat inside of them. They're not tough or not older.
If they get older, they're just going to get toughed out and just get all gnarly. And
exactly.
The fat will just start to get kind of funky too.
Right, and that's when you'd be better off like stewing, like what we're doing here in the oven with the soup. That's when you kind of want to use those too. But these, they're just fine for stewing or anything at any age, really.
Beautiful. Oh, that's gorgeous.
It is.
Ah, little birdie.
So you can see it's just a whole bird here.
That's awesome.
What I'm going to do is I'm also going to add a little bit of vegetables here for some aromatics, and it'll also create like a little bit of a tray to roast on top of. Yeah. And so that way, there's not a lot of fat in these things, but when the fat starts to render out and that sort of thing, it'll get in the vegetables, help cook it up a little bit. Yeah. And it should be nice and flavorful too.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to pull them out. I'm going to add a little bit more oil here. And I'm going to put in some mirepoix. These are all just trimmings as well, just like what you use there.
So it's celery root, carrots, and onions?
Yes.
And some tomatoes? Oh, beautiful.
Little tomatoes for a little bit of acid in there. Yeah. Won't hurt much. And so very quickly, this is pretty much ready to go. And then I'm going to put my squab right on top here.
It's like we made a little bed for it.
We did. We made a little bed for it. And so, and what we'll do is I'm going to put this right in the oven, a 500-degree oven.
Beautiful. Let me get that door for you.
And I also have some vegetables that are going to go in there as well.
Perfect.
Now we'll talk about these here in a little bit. These are going to roast too. There we go.
Perfect. Okay, so while those are doing its little marvelous job, we can have a peek at our braised little birdies in here.
I'll get this oven for you.
Thank you, kind sir. So this one has been sitting for, it's about 30 minutes.
Wow.
So it goes pretty fast. It's starting to smell pretty delicious.
Yes, it does.
So on the side here, I got orzo that I already cooked up. I cooked it separate just so you'll kind of avoid the starches. Also got some turnips. I got some carrots. I got some onions.
Some little pearl onions in there.
Yeah, like
looks great.
Yeah, you can. This one you can really just add whatever you have around.
Sure.
Like it's all sorts of deliciousness. So I'm just gonna strain this liquid just straight over this.
Okay.
Woo-hoo.
Wow, so looks great.
All that delicious little flavor.
And it looks like your liquid's kind of thickened up a little bit too, maybe because of some of the collagen and that sort of thing.
Yeah, the feed will really just help thicken it. It just gives a lot better mouthfeel to it. It just makes it real nice and delicious. Okay. So I'm just gonna take a spoon really, and you can just scrape the meat right off the bones.
Oh, that's a good little trick.
But like by now, like it's pretty nice and tender. So I'm just gonna pull it into kind of just rough little chunks.
And most people don't have the hands you have, so they're probably gonna want to let it cool.
yeah, I don't have any feelings.
Oh, I'm kind of the same way.
So just gonna add chunks in there. Like so.
Wow, look at the meat color. It's very dark, isn't it?
Oh, it's so dark. That's beautiful. So I want to try and avoid the skin because it's gonna be kind of tough.
Sure.
But I'm just gonna leave it.
That's actually quite a bit of meat on these little guys.
Yeah, they're pretty nice and meaty. Like they're very nice.
It seemed like they were much thinner during this time of year. It's July right now, and it gets kind of hot outside. They just don't seem to be eating as much. So sometimes so usually at 28 days they can be a little heavier, a little
Yeah.
meatier. These guys seemed a little thinner, but I think it's just because it's hot
The
outside. They're just
temperature
not
getting to
they're
it.
just not eating as much.
Yeah, I don't like to eat a whole heap when it's like 90 something outside either.
Right.
Like it gets a little crazy. All right, and that's about it. So it's kind of like it's like a squab and noodle soup.
Awesome.
It's just super easy. So I'm just gonna ladle it into a bowl right here. Right. So the vegetables that I had in there, I already had them par cooked. So I just cooked them separately, just in a little bit of chicken stock. And then that way, when I just strain the liquid over, it'll go very fast for them to get nice and warm again.
Wow, looks great.
Right? It's just super easy, and it's just nice and soul foody.
It is. It actually looks like really good. It's like just really good home cooking, nutritious. It looks like if you want to extend your squab for several people.
Oh,
because I mean,
sure.
one person could easily eat a whole squab. I mean, I probably could.
Oh, that's like breakfast.
And so you can serve more than one person this way with making a soup out of it, and you can
Oh,
get
for sure.
everything out of it. Use the bones, and I think it's a really good way to utilize these birds.
Oh, it's a wonderful bird, like wonderful flavor. I love them so much. So delicious.
It is. It's a wonderful looking dish too.
Like
Very simple.
All you need is just a little like a little toasted sourdough bread, just to dip it in. And
Oh, yeah, good idea.
Like, it's all you need in life.
Looks like a good fall dish too.
Oh, for sure.
Or even in the summer because it's so light. You can definitely
Yeah.
do this in the summer. It's a very light dish. I think fall would be a good time too.
There's no butter in there.
No, there's no butter in there, so
You should just
Mary
add
would
a
be
little
happy.
bit just for shits and giggles. Hey, so how's your little roasted bird going on?
I think it's looking pretty good here. Let me see what we got.
Oh, it's looking gorgeous.
Yeah, it's looking gorgeous. It's good. This guy won't take very long at all. And let's see. And my roasted vegetables are just about done here.
Yeah,
Thank you for that strainer there.
of course.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy out here. Actually, I could just grab him, couldn't I? He is definitely a little hot here. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to let him rest a little bit. So that way all the water and the proteins and whatnot.
You'll just settle.
Sorry.
Oh, that one came out of that.
It does happen to us too. Yeah. Even though I've been doing this for almost 20 years, we forget sometimes.
Oh yeah.
There you go. There's a very good example. Don't do that. Let's see.
Just a little bit of
I'm
chicken.
going to deglaze. Yep, I'm going to deglaze a
Beautiful.
little bit here. I think I'm going to add a little bit more salt and pepper.
Wonderful.
Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to mount it with a little bit of butter. So that way to kind of finish this thing off. And I mount it with a little
Gorgeous.
butter. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of
Just
kale
some
here.
kale. Beautiful.
Just like I said, and a little bit of whatever you can find.
Beautiful.
And I did pull my vegetables out, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh,
we
sorry.
we got him over here. Oh, it looks gorgeous already.
And we have some beautiful vegetables that are roasted off from the garden. We have some squash, some garlic scape. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to, may I?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Thank you. So what I'm going to do,
So kind of just glazing it off with a little bit of that chicken stock and
Yes.
yumminess.
That's
and
exactly what I'm
butter
doing.
and deliciousness.
so I'm going to add our veggies here.
It just looks just so colorful and happy.
It is. And if you want to reduce it, you can. I can reduce it in the pan. Otherwise, I'm going to add a little bit of this butter, this mounted stock here to the pan.
Gorgeous.
And our squab, which is ready to go, and it's beautiful and nice and brown. And
It's
that's
beautiful.
it. We're whole roasted squab, and
That's so easy.
it is.
Like I would almost think I can do it.
It is. It's very simple. It didn't take us very long at all. Like I said, be very careful though for hot pans.
Yeah.
Especially 500-degree hot pans. But yeah, it's a very, very simple dish. As you can see, it's very, very simple to make squab. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's nothing. You don't have to get crazy with it. It's a quality product. It's
The less you do with it, the
yeah,
better.
really. You don't need to get crazy with it and mask the flavors of it. It tastes really
Beautiful.
it tastes really great. If you like game, I don't think it's as gamey as some birds can be.
For sure.
And so it's just a really good protein and sustainable protein as well. So
Gorgeous. Well, thank you very much for sharing all this advice and, I don't know, showing that we burn our hands too. That's always good.
yes, and
But,
and thank you, Mary, too.
for sure.
Thanks a lot, Mary. I think you'll be happy with us this time. We only used a little bit of butter. We didn't get too crazy. I don't think you used any at all on your dish.
No, it's
Oh,
crazy.
man, I'm trying to get points.
Well, thank you very much, guys. Be sure to check out our recipes on our website. And I don't know, until next time, keep on cooking.
See you.